Hi everyone! Today we will talk about the best way to form a party. Let's start with the party requirements. All assets a party should have to be successful. It should have good offensive boons that raise the group's damage. It should have ways to block annoying effects that disrupt damage-dealing players. The party should have a way to survive the incoming damage, usually healing. It should have good crowd control for break bars, and obviously players that deal damage. Let's now go through the roles that players can take. There are two categories, the DPS players and the support players. In this image, we can see the power DPS classes. At the top row there are the meta classes, and below those there are some additional choices. Some of those classes require Spotter to perform better at their role. In this image, we can see condition DPS classes, and again, the top row shows the meta classes while below are listed some extra choices. Let's go through supporting. Supporting has many forms. Some supports are dedicated supports, like Boon Chrono, Druid, and healer Firebrand. Some are damage dealers that can offer more than damage to the group, like Warriors, Guardians, and Soulbeasts. Let's start with the Chronomancer. This is a class that can permanently maintain quickness and alacrity. It is also able to perform solid pulls and bring very good CC. Signet of Inspiration makes Chronomancers the kings and queens of supporting because it can extend the duration of boons a player has. Next comes Firebrand. Firebrand is excellent at buffing because he can maintain every single boon apart from alacrity. Firebrand is the master of stability and an excellent healer. When a Firebrand plays Radiant Straight Line, he has the ability to share the signet that greatly increases the power of the party. This choice will, however, decidedly decrease his ability to heal. Let's talk now about the Druid, the most dedicated healer class. The supporting power of Druids comes from the spirits they're using. Every spirit is giving boons and extra effects to the party. Also, the Spotter, one of the core traits, makes the Druid valuable to those classes who are missing critical chance. Through Grace of the Land, the Druid additionally offers the group permanent uptime of Might. The most tricky support when it comes to gameplay is Renegade. Apart from his main role, that is to give alacrity with the skill Orders from Above, he's helping the party maintain might and is the best class for crowd controls. A minor trait, Assassin's Presence, can offer the party a boost of critical damage as well. What makes this class special is that the skills are changing depending on the chosen legend. As we can see in this image, every legend has a different use and should be chosen wisely depending on particular situation. Next comes the Warrior, or the so-called Banner Slave. Warrior is a full DPS class and is supporting the party by taking two banners, Banner of Strength and Banner of Discipline. The Spellbreaker trait line decreases Warrior's personal damage but makes him way more supportive. Soulbeast is a pure DPS class. The reason to put it on the support list is the trait Leader of the Pack that allows for sharing boons from stances with teammates. Also, Soulbeast can take Spotter when the trait is needed and the party doesn't have a Druid, as well as Frost Spirit. Many of you may wonder why Dragon Hunter landed on the support list. Dragon Hunter's support role comes from a skill that is equipped anyway, the Bane Signet. By changing one simple trait, this can offer an offensive boost for the team for a short duration of time. Also, if the group lacks stability or reflects, Dragon Hunter is able to cover that. The final support trait to mention is Engineer's Pinpoint Distribution that increases the condition damage of the party. After explaining the roles, it's time for action. In fights, the most important thing is positioning. Boons are applied only in a certain radius around the support or at a spot where the boons were casted. Boons are the reason damage classes shine, so the DPS player needs to stay in the spot where they can receive them. In Guild Wars 2, melee gameplay is superior to range gameplay. Let's now talk about the most efficient way of killing groups of monsters, which is pooling. Pooling is the ability to gather monsters in one spot. The DPS players can focus damage on this one spot and burst mobs instead of killing monsters one by one. After all this chat, we have finally arrived at the main part of this video, the group formation. There are many ways to make a group efficient and successful, and I will share 6 best examples that work in every situation. Here we have the so-called old meta, that has a Chrono and a Druid as main supports. To make this group work, you need a Dragon Hunter as DPS with Stand Your Ground. He can cover lacking stability, and the group can work beautifully. Here we have the Permaboon party. Even if someone is less than an excellent Chrono or excellent Firebrand, playing those two supports together makes the boons practically freeze in time. All boons stay on the party forever, and the supports can efficiently shield the party from many game mechanics. This combination can carry every group. This combo has the Chronomancer and the Renegade as main supports. This can be unstable in many situations and is not strongly recommended. The chameleon abilities of Chrono can however make it a very offensive choice that actually works. In this image, we can see the meta combination, Firebrand and Renegade. This combo excels on all levels. The only minor issue to mention is the inability to pull. Both Firebrand and Renegade have some pulls, but they aren't good enough to be efficient. Apart from that, boons have an almost permanent uptime, and the crowd control is great. Not to exclude our condition players, here we have the best possible way to start a Condi combo. All that is needed are 2 Renegades that will supply alacrity while playing Condi, and a healer Firebrand for every other boon. In condition parties, one strong card to add is a Scourge class. Scourge has the skill Epidemic that spreads conditions from the target to enemies around, making the group's cleave very strong. The last group I will mention is not a newbie-friendly combination. This is the so-called Pelletist Combo. In this one, we have all supports playing power without bringing a dedicated healer or other safe choices. This group has only one job: kill everything immediately or die. In a group like this, every player should be excellent and no mistakes are allowed, so it's not one I would suggest for new players. It is worth mentioning, however, as this is the fractal meta. Thank you very much for watching my video, and feel free to message me in-game for any other information you need.